Done.
Welcome to the Just Never Know podcast. I'm your host, Ron Frazier, and I'm joined today by my good friend, Deak J Smalls, up and coming, ready to hit the next level. Thanks for
Brother
being
Ron.
here.
Hey, it's all love, Ron. I appreciate you having me here, man. This is exciting for me, man. You know, me and you, we go back, man. And it's just exciting to see, you doing your thing. And I appreciate that. So I had, when you asked me to be a part of it, I could not reject that, man. So I thank you.
Oh, hey, man, I appreciate it, and I enjoy watching your success right now, man. You are, everything you do, you lay it out there, and I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
Hey, I'm going to start a question out like I start everybody off. What's the most interesting thing about you that not many people know?
you. The most interesting thing about me, man, I don't know if people might not know about it. I be on that social media or whatnot, but I'm a guy that likes to learn new things. Rather, it's something that I may not incorporate in my personal life, but I like to know what makes people tick, man. What makes people want to do the things that they do. Um, I'm an outside guy. Now, I guess the older I get now, I like being outside and being one with being one with nature, being one with the birds and the bees and stuff like that.
Right.
So I like just hiking and everything, just really being one with the earth. Honestly, that's really most of what I do in my pastime now. So I'll say that.
Very cool. Very cool. Have you been busy lately? What have you been up to?
Uh, man, living life. Honestly, man. Um, Recently, we just did like a short premiere for a film that I co-produced and starred in, directed by my good friend Sean Morgan of Movie Films Productions, called Maybe Daddy. Um, I'm excited about it, man. I can't wait for the world to see it. It's my first short I've produced, and it was just like kind of spur of a moment thing, man. The idea came up. I was just sitting in the playground with my kids, just watching them play, and I had to really, and it just came about because I was just thinking to myself like the life of being a father. We always acknowledge the the sacrifices, the thrills, and the achievement a woman does, and we're not taking that from them, of course not. But what about us? What about guys like me and you? We're both fathers, father of amazing children that we love, that we want them to be, better than us. I think that's what a
Right.
real father would want their child to become better than them, rather
Right.
than be like them. And the story that we created was just about what a father, everyday life father, will go through. And it's about a story about a young man who just found out that he was a father of a toddler, but he doesn't know what to do because he was raised without a father. So he's getting advice from the two of his good friends who are pretty much pretty experienced the fatherhood, and trying to lure him into being that child's life, give him something that he didn't have, and get rid of the selfishness of what he did because he didn't know for sure if he could do it or not. So it has a real positive message. I feel like it's great that we had the premiere the other day, which is good because I felt like it came out just in time for Father's Day, which is coming up, and it was just warm to my heart, man. I had a good response to it, and it was just fun. I loved it, and it just sparked the bug in me to want to produce more projects rather than just starring. It was fun. You just getting your creative juices out and everything.
That's a whole
You
new
know,
perspective, being on all sides of it.
yeah,
Whole new
yeah.
perspective.
It's a lot too, man. I never experienced that before, but it was that good feeling though, because you're doing something for a probable cause, something that you just love to do. I can understand you working a 9 to 5, you giving all your energy to a job, and you you cannot stand.
Right.
But me and you, we love this. So doing something that we actually have a love and passion for, man, it's not work. It's really play. We was playing on the playground, which really it took place. The film I did, it took place on the playground. So it's like we playing with the kids, but we are big kids ourselves. So it's like it was just fun and exciting, man. So I can't wait people to see it.
The cool thing about a film like that, it's kind of like you. You're changing the world and not letting the world change you. And you're kind of
Yes.
displaying. It seems like that's what you're displaying through the film.
Right. Exactly. You know, because you hear about it all the time. People, experienced people in the industry. They do stuff that they love to do, but it's like you yearn for that. Like, golly, wait till I get my chance. When do I get my chance? And sometimes you have to put that. You got to be focused with it, man. And focus on what you want to do. Strategize, and it's also good to build a team. Be involved in the film community, and because these guys who work for me in the production, man, just off the strength that I have a good rapport with people. They wanted to make the film to come out in light, and
Yeah.
at the time I wasn't able to to pay everybody, but it was just out of love, and
Right.
that's the beauty. That's way more beautiful than other stuff, man. So I'm grateful. Mostly I'm grateful, and I'm just excited. I can't wait till y'all see the work that I'll put into this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everything I see on film, you always get a role where it's intense. It's
Oh yeah, man.
intense.
Oh
Every
yeah,
role, Deak is doing intense.
man. It's fun, man. I mean, you experience acting yourself, man. You know that it's like us waiting in line, get ready to go on a roller coaster as a kid. You're excited, you're ready to go upwards, and then you reach that climax, and it's like just your body's everything's just electrified, And
There we go.
you put all into it, man. Especially for in my case, like I can't see myself doing anything else but be in the field, rather it's behind the camera or in front of the camera. Like this is something I want to be engraved on my gravesite, like a guy who loves this art. Just being creative, man, and just starting, creating new things, man. And it's the beauty now. Getting a lot of creatives now. A lot of people are collaborating and doing stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just way more exciting in the film industry. Hopefully, when things get better, what's going on with the strike and everything, more content, great content. Because I mean, we're at this point, we're tired of the whole uh, reboots and remakes and sequels and stuff like that, man. It's like it's time to go back to the originality of things, like what artists, what creators, to who we grew up admiring. So
Hey, who's somebody that who inspired you in film?
uh in film, man, you said somebody. I don't know if I can say somebody. It's I just as a kid growing up, I grew up with the likes of I used to be at my granny house, God rest her soul. I would watch I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball, and even with just creators like Sidney Poitier and Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, those guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger, those guys, that the entertainment in entertainment. It's They inspire me to want to jump in that. As a kid, I was always the guy that always stayed in the house to watch cartoons, watch the soap operas, watch the TV shows and everything, and
Right.
never got. And I just had a wild imagination. I always wanted to just go on my own adventure, my own imagination, and create my own characters. So, looking at guys who, growing up, I realized they've done the same thing, but got them in a position where they were using their imagination. So, I've always had a fast comedy. So, it's just so many people. I can't really name one. It's just I learned, and I've taken content from each every artist who I love, like Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis, those guys, Marlon Brando, like, man, top notch, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I could go on, Ron. I could go
Yeah, right,
on. It's not.
right,
It's not necessarily one, like. It's not necessarily one. Even with well, musical artists, if you really think about it, because they tell stories of that you can imagine. It's like a movie. The way they put their songs together, it's really like a film. Like I listen to Sting and Elton John or Aretha Franklin. It's just art, man. I just it's a lot of people that I admire, who I grew up to listen to, watching, that I just hold dear to my heart. But
right.
when it comes to far as well, it comes to even with my parents, people who I grew up in the neighborhood. It was a lot of entertainment. Who a
Right.
lot of characters that I had no choice but to observe, and it pushed me to want to build my own characters. I took some pieces of their life and incorporated into characters who I portray in different projects. Every character I've played, I've took a piece from somebody, rather somebody who I knew or knew of,
Right.
and it just helped me out a lot. But mostly
It
my
definitely makes
mothers.
you.
It does.
It definitely
But I
makes it
really
easier.
got my from my mother though. My pops is more laid back, chill, cool, calm, and collective type of guy. Never loses cool. But my mother, man, she was the life of the party. I'm not saying what she's still here, but she is the life of the party. I got that a lot from her. Like she speaks her mind. Like so, if you meet her, man, you'll be like, okay, I see where D got it from,
Right.
man. Yeah, man, it's
But
a lot.
let's take a look. Let's take a real quick. At one of your clips. What are your intense roles here?
I didn't ask to be this way. I had no choice. So, for you to sit your ass over there and look at me and judge me like I'm some type of fucking animal or some criminal. But let me tell you something. Out there in those streets, my family, I'm God. You told me you was gonna take me on a trip into the movies. Michael, you didn't find yourself and admit who or what you're not. Pretending to love your wife and fuck me behind her back? I'm not perfect either. I'm not. But I know who I am and I know who I am not.
See, that's good because this right here is done. I got a family to get to. I'm sorry, but this is over. I gotta go. Bye.
Intense, intense. There's Deak.
That was crazy.
That was with
It's
Hollins, right? That was with Hollins.
yeah, my guy, my Justin L Holland, man. He that was his idea. He we worked together in other projects, and it was his idea for both of those projects. The interrogation, I'm God, and the other one, hotel. Just I explain. How you work a scene, you do a scene, and you so in tune. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yep,
Can
yep.
you still hear me?
Every time you move, it lags a little bit though.
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah, Lex. Okay. I just want to make sure. But like I was saying, like how you work a scene and you like so in tune in it. That when the director yells out cut, it's like you in the trance. And when the director yells cut, you snap out of you like, what just happened? I don't remember how I got to that place. What did I say? Because it really came from within. It's not really just reading the lines. Your character had really took over you, and you really just becoming that person, and you really was doing that scene. Those scenes right there, man. I to this day I cannot recall how I felt, because it was like Deak was gone, and it was that prisoner and that lover. It was them, and I thank Justin for that, because he pushed me. I was really struggling with that, especially both of them really. because dealing with those circumstances, like I had relatives that was locked down. You know, I have friends that are, you know, are in that community. So I wanted to do them justice. I didn't want to just play those roles. I didn't want to make a mockery. I wanted to make it, you know, make it look real, authentic, pure, and just realistic. Just knowing that I'm doing it for a service for you guys. And I think we did a good job. Honestly, I've got some, you know, good feedback from it, man. So again, I thank Justin for that, man, because he pushed that monster in me.
Definitely realistic. Like I said, every
Mm,
role you do is realistic, really.
appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna throw some pictures up here. You can elaborate on some.
Oh, sure,
Or
sure. For that first film, it was a lot of those stuff. A lot of that was actually improv. Actually, the interrogation scene,
oh yeah,
because I just felt like, and not taking away from the writers, they did an excellent job. I'm not taking that away from them, but actually, it's not really taken away. They wanted me to just go ahead and go full throttle. If I felt like I needed to include something, change something, make something sound different in the tone, they said go for it, and I respect them for that. I still wanted to give those lines justice because, you know, they took their hard time to create that piece of work.
right.
But okay, I can still continue on with, you know, whatever you want me to talk about. Oh yeah, that guy.
What was this?
uh,
Go ahead and elaborate on this.
oh man, that was a scene off the show Tax Season, man. But my guy, we golly, man, that's my character, Peewee Man. I hope that, you know, that will come out soon. I have faith in that, man, because we had a good time with that, and I can't wait to enjoy. It was a comedy, a drama, a dramedy, if you will. So oh, that's a nice dramedy, man. That's coming out soon, man. So we had fun with that. We shot that during in the midst of COVID, the beginning of COVID, and all the way to the end. So that was a interesting time, man. Hopefully, I want everybody to see that, because we had, you're gonna see so much, how much we had so much fun on set, man.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Golly, man, yeah, yeah, it was fun.
I would have
Um,
loved to have been on that set.
huh?
Robert even said something to me about maybe being his boss. He was a policeman or something. And he goes, maybe down the road.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, the volume down. Another interrogation scene. Now, this one, I was the officer. I was the cop, I was the detective in that scene, and that was fun. Again, with my guy Justin Holland. You know, that was my that's my partner in crime right there. Like we've done so many work together, man, and that was our very first film together, actually. Um, and that was interesting because it was like the tables had turned. Like the first one that we showed, like I was the guy in the jumpsuit, and this time he was the guy that was in the jumpsuit, and I was the guy, the cop, and it helped me because I always wanted to play that detective. You know, you watch shows like, you know, Law and Order, the NYPD Blue, those type of shows, man, and it was like I always got that thrill. I wanted to be the guy to be like, you did this. Where were you at around this time? Like it was, you know, I wanted to be a part of one of Dick Wolf's productions so bad, man. So you know, just showing that, man, just showing that ability to get into that realm of that was fun to me. So we had a fun time doing that. So,
Very
oh yeah,
cool. Very cool. Very cool.
ah, oh yeah, my girl. Shout out to my girl Kalima Shaw. She was my partner in that film, and that's actually a pilot. Shot by, you know, my guy again, Sean Morgan, man, an amazing director, just a visionary, just with what he could put on that screen, man. And this right here is it's coming. It's called The Light, and this one it's more of think of think of the show V. If you remember the show V, think of that with more of a detective type feel. And I hope he doesn't beat me up for this. Like, I'm not really giving it away, but just the premise of a show of trying to find out what's real and what's not, who's real and who's not. It deals with what aliens and just taking over society, and it's going to be something. I can't. We shot that last year, and I'm excited. I really can't wait for you guys. I talk to Sean all the time. I ask him like, how's that going with that production, man? Because we put a lot of hard work in that. And I'm just excited for everybody to see that. And it took me back because it was like set in the early '90s, you know. So I had to put myself in my father's shoes. I had to watch him, how the way he, because you know he's so cool. My pops is so cool, calm, man. And this guy, this character, he's just that. He's the exact same way, and just how he handles his personal life and his life as a detective. And Detective Derek, which is his name, he's it's just it's in a sort of sense it's comical because he's just so cool, but it's like it's like come on, man. I can't wait for you guys to see it, man. Hopefully it'll be out soon. I know we still got some work to do, man, but it's going to be a fun, exciting show for sure.
I haven't had a chance to work with Sean, but I hear everybody speaking very highly of him.
Oh man, he's that's a person who's really humble, man. Like he's a really sweet guy, man, and he takes his work serious because he loves the art. He just loves what he does, and it's like it's not really so much of a financial gain for me. He just loves to put out amazing work, and I love being around people like that. I love working around people who wants to put that canvas and start using that paintbrush and just creating a masterpiece and everything, whether it's small or not. I first worked with Sean a few years ago on a film project called Product of the Poison, and that was my first time meeting, and it was kind of a love at first sight, if you will, because his interest was exactly my interest in far as making movies, and we've been working together ever since. He's my Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese. Martin. he's he's that guy. He's that director that I feel that a lot of actors would want to work with because we're just so in tune with what we want to do, what we want to achieve, what we want to accomplish. So I wouldn't change the world for the world. I advise anybody who's really like-minded that wants to work with us should.
Shout out to Sean Morgan.
Sean Morgan, man. Another Justin Holland's Productions. Oh man, that was that was like a small side project that Justin had reached out to me to be a part of. A little short of just the game of different projects that you see on TV that deals with the mobsters and that type of life, the underworld, you know. And we shot that maybe one day actually, but it was so genuine because everybody who was a part of that project knew exactly what their position was. It was all good friends. Shout out to my guy John and the gentleman who you couldn't really see, Jonathan Adams, man. Both creative, both amazing good actors who was really who's really good in what they do, on and off the camera, man. So we had fun, man. It was just an amazing thing. They really helped me out that day, man, because I don't think I was feeling well that day, but it's just the thrill and the impact of what our scene was, man. they overcame all that, man. So shout out
There
to
you go.
those guys, man.
Hey, what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten towards the film?
Um, I would actually say I wouldn't necessarily say advice from others. Maybe it's something I gave myself of you're not in a race. You're more doing your job, you know, being the best that you can be. And stop looking for yourself and others. You know, some artists, I'm not gonna say all, but some artists try their hardest to overshadow their scene partner and whatnot. And it's like I think to me that's dick and selfish. I feel that both you and your scene partner should be on their game
Right.
because your scene partner is gonna make you look good and vice versa. So you should not. It's order in that case. You really should be trying to help one another. And I've done a few projects that some people was just trying to upstage each other. Man, it's like, what's the goal here? It is a sport, but at the same time, is not. You're moving as one. It's like each character have to both those scene partners have to make the legs move. No one can be ahead of the other because it's not going to work that way. You're building a body. It's a body of work, and if both minds is not in tune with each other, you know, you're left in a cardiac arrest. So
Right.
I learned to, the be in pace with somebody and not thinking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna top this person by doing this and that because for one, it's selfish to me. It's not you're not really prepared. It's all about the performance and what you can make the audience believe in, you know, and make it look authentic, make it look real. Uh, so I give myself advice just by, just stay in tune within yourself, move one accord, and just be yourself, not worrying about what others think, first of all. So,
And it shows through. I think that's what sets you apart from other actors. Definitely.
but I learned so much from other actors too, even the ones that, you could tell that needs improvement. Um, and the ones that, they got the shit together, like, man, like this are so many actors locally here, man, are just so amazing, man. So I respect wholeheartedly what they do. Even the ones who are really just getting into the business like that, who really getting into the field, I respect that because they taking that leap of faith. We all been there. We all been amongst experienced, trained, classically trained actors when we're just newbies in the game. So I don't try to act like have that whole seniority, like I'm better than thou. I tend to just learn from them, man,
Right.
and I think it's just it's a learning experience, and I just want to continue with that. And I advise any young actor to do that and not feel intimidated and just continue, to push through. Just learn from them. I tell any actor this: rather you on the scene, rather you out there auditioning or in the production or whatnot, if you want to continue to to take your classes, sharpen your tool, mostly just taking classes and reading a lot, you are still considered an actor. We being in this state, I don't know if it's going out of the question that you asked me, but I've been there in that place that you're not getting that, you're not really getting a lot of roles or getting any roles, and you just feel like you see your peers, especially the social media, you see them succeeding. Well, from the outside looking in, you see them succeeding and getting landing these roles and that roles, getting this audition and that audition, and you're not really getting anything. The key thing is still keep yourself active. Go stay in a class. Um, Read a lot of books. You are still considered an actor. To me, I feel that way because you're still learning the craft, and acting is all about learning, experience life, really experience
Growth.
life outside of acting, which again, what we were discussing earlier about me. A lot of people don't know about me. I love being outdoors. You have to live your life. You have to live a little
Yeah.
in order to build more. I guess you could say, I guess, passion or what, if you will. So when you get those roles, you have something to contribute in order to bring, that character to life. You have to live your life as well. And that's what I've been doing, man. I've just been, everything doesn't have to necessarily deal with acting. Being an actor is living, right? So I'm just living my life, traveling more, engaging with other people, whether they're in the same field I am or not. You're just absorbing so many people's lives. So when you go out for those auditions, that person you may have talked to, for that role that you're auditioning for, you may have known somebody personally who actually experienced that. So it's all about just living, man, living and learning.
Yeah.
Continue doing that.
Well, you talked about earlier. What advice would you give to young actors how to handle criticism and rejection?
Man, criticism's gonna come regardless. I mean,
Right.
we all in this field for us to be criticized. We're pretty much in the public figures, man. Rather we're on the upstage or whatever, or we on the depends on whatever our popularity is or not, or we up and coming. Our art is up in the public now, so it's going to be people going to base their opinions on things. It should not it should not affect your performance. That's
Yeah.
what this business is all about.
Right.
you know continue just work on yourself as a human being, and don't worry about what others think about you. The more you worry about others think about you, the lackluster of a performance you're going to give, because you're always going to continue to think that, oh, the crowd is not going to like this. You're going to be stagnant. You're going to suppress your performance, man, and you should not do that. Golly, it was a quote that Cher said. If you're not willing to look foolish in front of that crowd, then you're not ready for success. You
Right.
know, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be. I feel like what they say. You have to move in fear. You have to move that way. I think that's when you give out your best work, and that's in anything, acting, uh, anything
Right.
you do, any occupation. You have to give your all, man, and get into that uncomfortable space. If you stay in that comfortable place, that you're going to be content with yourself, and that's not really what life is all about. It's all about taking
Bigger
that leap.
risk, bigger reward.
Yes. So I give any advice to any actor, actress, or anybody who's behind the scenes. I give them that advice all the time, to just worry about what others think. So
What are some of the biggest challenges you've faced in your career?
accept and no. Well, let me put that. Being okay to be told no doesn't mean you have to accept it.
Right.
Whatever that role is, if it's for you, it's gonna be for you. Um, and don't let it discourage you. It's going to be a time and a place that you're going to get into the position. It's a learning experience. Whether you get that role or not, you still get to learn from it. It's all about moving forward. So if you fall on something and it doesn't work out for you, that's cool. I mean, people audition every day. It's projects that's being formed. Rather it's locally non-union or high paid gig. It's projects that's coming out every day,
Yeah. I always
and
say
you just have to.
I always say you didn't lose if you learned something from it.
Exactly.
As long as you learn
Exactly.
something, take something away from it, you're winning.
Exactly.
You're
It's
winning.
okay to feel. It's okay to feel defeated in things, man. That's all life's about. You're going to get bruised, but it don't make it break you. You know.
Right.
That's just how the business. That's just how any businesses are. Like it's all a learning experience, man. How we all learned how to ride that bicycle. We all fell, but we got back up and we continued to try until we managed to ride that bicycle. The same thing in the movie business and film industry. We film, we audition for projects that we know for a sure shot that we got it. We think we got it, but to go to somebody else, that's fine. Don't even hate about that you didn't get it. It just was not meant for you at that time. Something
Right.
greater. You got to have that positive mind frame as well. We tend to dwell in the sorrow and the negativity of oh, we couldn't do it. But man, hell, this day and age, you can make your own content now. Now we have cell phones now. You can create your
Yeah.
own projects. You don't have to wait. You don't have to go because they're not gonna come to you. So you might as well go ahead and create your own content and bring that to them. You know,
Right.
that's the beauty of I just love about filmmakers now, these upcoming filmmakers, man, because they're not waiting for anybody now. They're creating their own content. That's why I admire artists like Issa Rae. She's just one of those I admire as well because I remember seeing her starting her project off of YouTube, and now she's just boom to global status. I admire that about her, and there's so many other directors, actors that started off using the small platform to raise their thing up to just hi man. I love it. It gets my fire burning, man, when I hear stuff like that, man. So
Yeah. Hey, speaking of local, I'll tell you what, we were both fortunate enough to be in the Radcliffes. I'm going to tell you what, when I seen the trailer, and that is so well
man,
done. Hats off to the
yeah.
Johnsons, Scott and
Shout
John.
out to the Johnson brothers, man. And you know what? I worked with them before, right? I don't know if you have worked with them
Yeah, yeah,
before, but I worked with them before, man, and it's just something about them, man. John is just he's an interesting man. I love being around people who you just look at and be like, I love that. I don't care who you are. I just love that. In their mind, and just because they give me that sense of the '90s horror, the '90s gore films. We were missing that in the past. I mean, we were missing that recently, man. So them bringing that back, they give you the feeling from like the Thing and the Michael Myers and those type of feeling, that type of feel. So
right.
them asking me to be a part of this project, man, the Radcliffe, man, I was like, I couldn't turn it down because I love the script and I just love the buildup of it, man. I definitely can't wait for to that one come out, man. I have fun doing that, man.
Oh, that was
I
a
dread it. I dread some scenes, man. Cause golly, because we worked, not to give away, but we worked the scenes that I was part of. Man, we worked from the sun up to sundown in the cold. I think it was like during January, if I'm not mistaken. And you know how cold it gets, man. In the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, all the way to what, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, freezing cold. We still having to perform. Golly.
yeah. I
I
remember
think that
we.
was the only thing I hated. I hated the Johnson brothers that day. I told them that time, like, I hate you guys. I hated you guys, man. But
Yeah,
just after seeing the final take, man, it was awesome. I'll go through that again.
yeah, it was cold. I remember that day. I was doing. They were doing the cattle union, and
Yep.
it was
Yep.
cold that day. It was cold.
Oh my gosh, man.
But hey, I'm
Oh
gonna
man.
I'm gonna show a little bit of their trailer, and
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Normally, people respect me. They listen to me. Some people might even like me. Not that fella. Not that night.
Your father has provided well for his children. It's the reason you three have the advantages that you do.
I haven't thought of him as dad since he killed my mother.
We both know the case was closed without a fair investigation. Mama didn't fall down the stairs, breaking 8 bones and crushing her trachea by accident.
The police ruled it an accidental death and closed the case.
And my father has just enough connections to have something like that covered up.
I'm your son, Roland.
Show Roland the files, get him to confess, and extort him.
You don't have any proof for what you're saying. But what I do have proof of is you are indeed robbing us.
So that means our question is, what the hell happened to those bodies?
I said no.
Where's Tanya?
And the bodies? Buried.
He's kind of got this bad boy vibe going on. Have you ever thought about getting one? God, I need a Valium.
Hey, Ron.
There we go.
Yeah. Were you able to show it?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know. It froze up on me again.
Okay.
But it's all good. I've seen the trailer so many times.
Yeah, I tell you what,
Man.
I got a chance to see the whole thing, and the very end,
Really?
I was losing it. I was laughing so hard at the very end. Oh my god!
Yeah.
It was-
Yeah, it's just again, man. It's just those Johnson brothers, man. They know what they're doing, and I appreciate that, man. It was just so different than any other project I have been a part of. You know, I like their mind. I love their creative, gory mind because it's so '90s, late '80s type of horror that we all grew up and loved, especially if you are a real movie head. You love those type of things. So to see them actually bring that back to me is remarkable, man. They deserve all the praise, man, that they get.
Oh yeah, I was lucky enough to work with them on Fleischer, as I believe you were as well.
Me too. Yeah. That's my first time working with them.
Yeah, I got killed, so I thought, okay, I'm the real horror guy now. I got killed.
I thought I was
working
gonna
with
die too. I thought I was gonna be out of there too, man. But you know, that was fun too, man. Because again, that was my first time working with them for one, and you know, I read the script, but just seeing it in live action after it was done and how everything was so perfect, like everything from the figuring and everything, the murders, man, that was just so.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't cheap. Like that looked real. It was like, golly, these guys will keep on doing that. Just imagine what they will go further with, because that was intense, man. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
The cinematography was off the chart.
Man, yes.
The sound was beautiful, perfect.
Oh my gosh, man.
I mean, as far as local, that's one of the best I've seen.
Yes. So that's why I knew. I was like, about Radcliffe. I was like, if it's gonna be like that, I'm in. I don't care. Yeah, man. Shout out to those Johnson brothers, man.
Yeah. So Scott and John, you hear us? We're back if you want us.
We're back. Yeah, I mean we're here, man. If you want to make a new one, hey, knock on our doors. We're here.
Hey, what's some of the side thing? I know you like being outside. What else do you like doing? What's some of your hobbies?
You know what, man? I'm a simple kind of guy, man. I'm all about simplicity. You know what I mean? I like it's mostly just being around my family, man. Rather we're just going, sitting around watching TV. I'll be tuning in, catching up on different TV shows that catch my interest. I like painting a lot more now too. I like painting. My youngest son, he's a painter, So he got me to really want to, catch up with him. I think that's the beauty of just having kids, man. Some things you just learn about yourself through your children, And I had fun, man. I just like being around my children, my lady. I just like experience whatever they want to do. I'm for it,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what we were talking
So,
about. You got a little Brady Bunch going on there.
huh? Seriously, man. Um, so can you hear me?
Yep.
Sports and everything. So I'm watching football with my oldest son. My little daughter, she's into watching reality TV. So who John slept with now? Like I'm watching stuff like that. Who John? Who's Jacob dating now? Them type of stuff, man. Okay. I'm all for it, man. So just learn about those type of stuff, and
Where would you like to see your career going? What would you be your ultimate?
advance, man. I would love to work with different artists, different directors, man. I like. No one specifically. I'm I'm really a fan that's in the same realm, in the same world as them. I want to just continue to uh, the whole go beyond that. I want to do other things. I feel like I am capable of doing it. I feel I'm capable of doing it. I still want to push myself to do it, challenge myself. I think that's what's all about, man. You see the Daniel Day Lewis. I want to be able to transform. So you
We do this now.
Not hearing you, buddy.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. No.
Still now?
Now I can hear it. It's off.
Now? This AirPod is stupid as hell. I just want to be able to I want to be able to transform, man. I want to advance and challenge myself. Just challenge myself in being a different role that nobody have seen before. Nobody have may not expect me to do. I think that's the beauty of us being actors. We want you to see, not see us, but see who we are portraying us.
Right.
I just love seeing like what anybody said. Like I love seeing what Jamie Foxx did with Ray, Angela Bassett did with Tina Turner, Daniel Day Lewis did with Abraham Lincoln. Like those, come on, like I forgot the gentleman's name. He's one of my actors too. But what he did with yeah, Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody, like those guys, I have so much respect for because they really they really removed their faces into the actual character. And it's just remarkable. I want to do that in my career. I want to advance to get to that level, So I'm still a student in the game while I'm trying, still a student in the game and mastering to get to that level in my career.
I think that's one thing about this career. You're going to learn every
Oh
day,
yeah.
every
If
time.
you don't learn something, that means you're not doing it right.
Sure.
You may think you're the top shark, but you're not. You're still out there. It's life. It's a life within life. Like you're learning. You're still continuing to learn from other people. You're learning what you think you may have to improve in yourself. But you know, that's just the beauty of it, man.
I agree.
Just learning. Yeah, man.
I agree. Any parting words for our audience?
Um, continue to live your truth. continue to be you, and don't worry about what the naysayers have to say. Even if you're getting compliments from others, don't let it distract you on what you're actually trying to do with yourself, with your goal, man. You know, this business is continuing to grow. Everything is changing a lot, and you have to not. I wouldn't say go in with the times, but try to be original. Be your own individual. How people could point you out to, point you out the crowd and know that you are your own person. It's fun. Have fun with it, and that's what my acting coaches, my teachers have always told me. Have fun. It's not. It doesn't have to be serious. Even with your auditions, just pretty much just it's your own playground. Just
Right.
imagine you are a kid playing on the swing set. So going down the slide, it's have fun. Let it live. You know, and that's my advice. I would say for people who's come up in the game or are currently in the game, because they may have lost that and they may need some, redirection. So I would say that.
Right.
Again, man, I appreciate you, Ron, for having me on here on your platform, man. I love what you're doing, man, and you always been one I admire in this business. To be honest with you,
Well,
I
thanks,
mean,
brother.
we may not see each other, may not see each other a lot, man, but we keep up with each other on social media and everything. And again, man, my brother, like I watched what you have done, and I respect that wholeheartedly. Like I learned from some of the things that you do, man, and I respect that. And just be you considering you as a good friend of mine, man. I just much to your success as well.
Well,
And we gotta
enjoying.
work.
I'm enjoying your successful ride, man. I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying the ride. I wish you the most, and keep
Likewise,
bringing it,
man.
man. Keep bringing it.
Likewise, man. Well, we only have one life, man. We have fun with it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Even through the hardships. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to live your life. You're gonna have to have fun. So why not do it in something that you love to do? You know?
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. We can do this again sometime.
Always, always. Whenever you're ready, man, I'm here, man.
All right. And I want to
All
thank the
right.
audience. Thanks for joining us today. Please subscribe, show some love to Deak, show some love, hit that like button for the podcast. Let us know in the comments what you like, what you don't like. We can take it.
Right.
All right. Hey, thanks again. I appreciate it.
All love, brother.
All right. Love you, brother. Take care.
Love you more. You too.